Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Friday. So you're going to get your weekly Manhattan market update. John, there is so much going on. This market probably is in the midst of a shift. So we're going to have to get our A game going. Let's just go to the basics right now. I'm looking at Manhattan supply, 6,426. Show me that chart.
Yeah, so that's up 2%. And why that's notable, Noah, is that we're now starting to see supply string together multiple weeks with over, say, 1 or 2 percentage points in terms of increases. And this is the point of time last year when supply was still on its downward trajectory. So now we're sort of on an established upward trajectory, and the numbers are starting to get a little bit higher as we end this busy season here.
Yeah, and this is actively updated supply. I want to remind our viewers, actively updated supply. We are excluding all the stale stuff from this listing. So if you're looking at all of inventory, it is of course going to be higher, probably like maybe a 900 or 1,000 higher. But this is the trend we are following, and this is like a regime change in terms of supply, because we are now seeing a net positive of inventory trends. We saw a net deficit for so long that drove supply down. Now we're seeing the reverse. We'll get to that at some point down the road, maybe next week. Let's shift to pending sales. 4806. That's our measure of demand. Show me that chart.
Yeah, so again, it's another increase in Manhattan pending sales. It's the percentage increase is a little bit lower than supply was, and we're sort of in this range where we're above what we were seeing in 2019 in terms of pending sales, but we're below 2021, and the gap between now and last year is starting to increase a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what's going on right now. And I want to just point our attention really quick to monthly contract activity. All right, monthly contract activity. You know, when I look at that chart, and here's a 3-year chart of it, I just want to remind our people at home that the blue line is going to be how many deals this market has been producing, right? The entire industry. And the orange line is going to be that average. And if you just take a look at how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I can't even count. We have been over trend for so long. We have been over trend for so long. We got to keep an eye on this. This is at 1,400 and something over here. And I want to see what this is going to be in a couple of months. And if I'm a buyer, okay, well, actually, if I'm a buyer, I'm looking out to see if this thing is going to do a change and start to come down and maybe give me some leverage opportunities. If I'm a seller, you've had it good for a long time. You got to lower your price if you're not getting any activity right now, because you're heading into a summer. And this is looking like it's going the other way. And I'll show you why. Let's go to the weeklies. Let's check it all. We'll see what's going on here, Johnny. Supply 486. That's ticking down. Show me that chart.
Yeah, so after stitching together about 4 or 5 weeks over 500, weekly supply now is back down under 500. So even though overall supply is rising on a weekly level, it's coming in a little bit lower than it was last week, which again was lower than the week before. So it seems like sellers are slowly, taking their foot off the gas, but as we're going to see, not as fast as buyers.
Exactly. Let's move over to demand. The measure of demand, contract signed in the last week, 282. That is down around 19%. And that is what we're talking about. We need to keep an eye on this. That is a 1-week trend. 1-week trend is not a trend make, but it's something to look out for. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah. So, and I think you're exactly right. This is 1 week, but it's a bit of a drop, even for 1 week. That's a bit of a steep drop, especially since there weren't any holidays, and we have holidays coming up. Memorial Day is still ahead of us, and then after that, right, you get into June. It's just normally slower. July, August, forget about it. These are the slow times. So it looks as if this market has peaked. It looks as if we are in the middle of shifting right now. Now, if I'm going to just sort of weigh the good and the bad, this is still a lot of activity. Now, at 282 contracts is really nothing to sneeze at. That's good volume, and you bear in mind the fact that supply on a weekly level is starting to come down too. So if we get these things to ratchet down on par, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, look at our form. You know what I'm saying? We are talking about this on the forum, right? This forum, we're always talking about the latest stuff in the forum. There's people here discussing this kind of stuff. And if I go to 1 month, right, I just want to point out what's going on. 1,424. See, that's where we are now. And that's exactly right, John. Look at the 1 month. That's a high level. That's a high level. But we don't care about what happened in the past. We care about what's happening in the future and looking ahead to stay ahead for that competitive edge. And that is what's troubling just a little bit. So we got to keep an eye on that, John. And let's shift. Okay, let's shift out of the real-time stuff and let's go to price action, because this is now another topic right now. Did we peak in price action? It is my belief that Q1 is going to ultimately be the top for this cycle. And we discussed that the Q1 numbers, I mean, they were just being buoyed by that luxury sector, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking at this, I mean, where is that Q1? It's the very, very far right of this chart here. So the question becomes, what are prices going to do as we enter Q2 and volume is down? So we still have a lot of
Yeah.
sales to process. That's going to keep that line up. But the fact is we're entering a lower volume environment, which is going to pressure that line. So it looks to me, Noah, that if I'm going to put on my glasses here, that we got a whole lot of nothing, going into the summer months here.
Yeah, and look, you know what? Again, look at the move we made. Okay, look at the move we made. We made a nice move. Nothing goes up forever. And again, you know what? We're probably going to have some type of corrective force. It's not an unhealthy thing. I still think that this market is not. We did not do that parabolic rise that other vertical markets did. We have that different forces affecting our market. We have a rental mania that's going on right now. And I just want to show you. I take this point. And I go across. You're right around the 2018, 2019 market. Okay. So if you're a seller out there and you're thinking you're going to get 2015 or 2014 peak level pricing, and you find yourself sitting on the market and there's a lot of deals going on out there and you're not getting a bid, it's the price. So make an adjustment before summer. Just like Johnny said, I agree with that advice. Very good advice. Johnny, thank you so much for pulling up all this data. This is great stuff. That is John Walkup. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We're both from UrbanDigs. Don't forget, you guys got questions. We got answers. We're in that forum. And if you want any of the reports that we talked about today, it'll be in this section right here. Other than that, this has been your weekly Manhattan market update, and we'll catch you next time.